SoFi is in a major position here, closing at that 2782, holding above this major support zone. But we have seen a ton of selling pressure, not only in SoFi, but in the overall market. And we have had some trouble holding over that $30 level strongly. So, should we be expecting the bounce here, get back over that 30 and hold strong and continue to the upside, creating new all time highs? Or are we going to continue to see this harsh selling pressure? All right, guys, kicking over to the weekly time frame, we see a very strong stock breaking out of a structure with zero selling pressure. The bulls in that ultimate control through this entire movement up until recently. So we've seen pretty much nothing stopping the buyers here. Now we're seeing a tough time holding over that $30 level. Lots of back and forth, lots of indecision, holding up at this spot. But nevertheless, guys, very strong in the long-term picture of things, breaking out of this long-term cup and handle pattern. Multi-year cup and handle pattern here. As we weren't doing much for around 2.5 years, we get in this handle, we break out, and we've been very strong since that breakout up until now, finally getting tested. We broke through those previous all-time highs of 28, 26 quite easily. And since getting to around that $30 level, we have seen sellers try to step in and knock us under that. Now, flipping it back to the daily chart, guys, it's exactly what I mean. So we have a very strong stock after breaking out of that handle-like effect, that descending channel. We're going up. We're finding a little spot chop zone of 22 roughly, where we're holding very strong, extremely strong support here. Note that it's going to be important for later in the video. Very strong support. We're holding at this spot for nearly a month of time. Test at 25, get shot down, try to test it again, get lower. 23.76 is what we hit. Also important, right? Because then we get shot back down. But eventually, we use that as support to get us propelling to that $30 level. So we broke out, we broke through that 25, and once we got a little bit of tough trouble at 26.31, we come back down to that past resistance and use that as support, propelling us to 30. Now here's the more recent picture, guys. Right here we go. We hit that $30, we get shot down pretty aggressively, and we find a little bit of support at that $25 level, that exact spot that took us a while to break over. And we're getting in a little bit of a pennant. We're getting tighter, tighter, tighter. We finally break out, get over that $30 level, but only hold above that for 2 trading days before flushing lower. Try to get back up, hold above it for 1 trading day, get back lower, 1 trading day again. Big pullback, right? The overall market having some downwards pressure on this day. And then we bounce back up, continue all the way, create new all-time highs. SoFi at this point is one of the stronger stocks in the market. This is where we're seeing, that big pullback and then a nice little bounce. But then a lot of stocks on this day kind of was indecisive / pulling back. But we go ahead and go to 32.73, and we actually close over that 32 spot. But after that, guys, we see a harsh, very strong correction doing around on that 1 day of trading, 10% to the downside roughly. So that's a big indicator of a shift in price action. But 101 bear trap, right? We see this strong candle here. A lot of people are thinking, all right, we're going to the downside quite aggressively. This is a strong red candle. Some may think that. We trapped the bears here with this bounce. We hit that 26.31, that exact past resistance, turned into support, 1 here, and we see it kind of turn into support here, breaking us out of that pennant, right, being right on this ascending support. And what do we see again, guys? A bounce right here after that aggressive pullback, bouncing off of that exact point, bringing us back up, hitting new all-time highs. So a very important level there, guys. We could very well be seeing the bounce at 26.31, going ahead and continuing this little bounce effect, trying to get back to 30. And in the short term, that's the main point that you really want to see buyers chill out at, hold over that, because we've had a tough time, getting to 30. We've gotten past 30, but we've had a tough time actually holding at that spot. Seeing a little bit of chop like we've seen here, guys, like we've seen back here on that 2022 section. You want to see something like that occur. You want to see buyers claim that level and sit there for a bit, lay a base, stay strong in there, and then continue on up, getting new all-time highs, and using that 30 as some nice support, as if we were to have a little reversal. We feel good about bouncing there, continuing up. And we definitely got to see buyers lay their base, build that energy up, watch volume possibly even dry up a bit as we kind of chop around, and then continue in a much stronger manner. That would be a nice case scenario. But say, guys, on the inverse, right, if we look at the worst short-term case scenario, we have a ton of support levels to go off of. SoFi is definitely one of my favorite long-term holds, a very strong stock, arguably one of the strongest stocks in the market right now. And I see no difference if we were to even have a pullback, right? We have that obvious support at 26.31. We also have that obvious support at $25 being that tough resistance level for a bit, and then holding over very nicely being that nice support level to go ahead and continue this movement. And we also even see a double bottom effect. Bottom here, continue up, bottom there, continue up, which actually led us to, a break and test of all-time highs, to the test of that $32 level. So very obvious support there if that 26.31 didn't hold. And furthermore from there, guys, like we saw in the past, used that 23.76 as resistance. That turned into support, being the actual catalyst of leading us to that $30 level for the first time. Very healthy, ascending, strong profile. So if that didn't hold, guys, we'll be looking at 23.76 to be a very strong support zone, bottoming there, bottoming there. And I really don't see that happening. I see that SoFi recovering or bouncing sooner than that, either off this 26.31 or this 25. But if we were to go back down there, guys, very strong zone. And then the absolute worst case scenario, say the entire market's pulling back. If we check on IWM, say IWM's tanking to 225, say SPY's tanking down. We're looking at 641. Same with QQQ tanking there. Worst case scenario, guys, you see that 2073 being an extremely strong support. So it would feel very good bouncing there. That's a very low that I would even see this stock pulling back to. I really don't think it will. We're just looking at all possibilities here. And we see that even in this sequence here, every time the sellers try to break us under the support, they got weaker every time. Once here, weaker this time, weaker the third time, leading us out. Moral of the story, guys, we have a ton of support levels if need be, but I think that we could get the bounce, right? Checking on the hourly time chart, we bounce roughly around that zone, right? 25.66. Better yet, that 26.31 being that exact catalyst to hold up and break us out of this, pennant structure. So we broke out of that, bounced there again, and then we got a very strong bounce, being that big correction. Now we're seeing a smaller pullback. So it definitely is likely. So the market is having a good day come Monday, come Tuesday. We go ahead and retest that 30. You just want to see that hold as a strong base, guys. Build that energy. We could have a nice volatile move back to the 32 zone, but either way, say we got a nice low move up there, come back down, hold that spot as a base, and then continue up. And on the inverse, right, if the bear's getting that control, we could be back testing and retesting that 26.31. See if that can hold up as support. If the bears broke us through, you're feeling really good about that 25 to hold up, 25 flat. So hourly, pretty self-explanatory, but I do lean bullish just because we have so many strong support levels that can propel us up. Quick look at IWM hourly. We have seen a very nice recovery on IWM, hitting below that 234, right? That 234 being that past support level. If we broke under that and stayed under that, used as resistance, we would be looking pretty prone to that 230. But instead, we see a nice bounce back. IWM not looking bad as long as we stay within that range and hold above that 234. So yeah, guys, I am bullish on SoFi, and I think the overall market can continue this bounce for maybe a couple more days, or just continue this correction. But SoFi looking really good, guys. I'm liking it. Long term, extremely bullish. Short term, definitely still lean on that bullish side. So let me know your price predictions in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys all watching to the end of the video. As always, trade smart. I'll see you all in the next one.